Welcome to the October Joke Compendium.
There was a racing snail that got rid of his shell because he thought it would make him faster. Turned out it just made him more sluggish. What do you call a man who's finished digging? Doug. I don't think it's wrong to occasionally date a nun. Just don't get into the habit. Autocorrect goes straight to heel. What did the janitor yell when he jumped out of the closet? Supplies! Someone just called my phone, sneezed, and hung up. I'm getting sick of these cold calls. Just because I choose not to drink doesn't mean that I'm automatically not fun to be with. No, that's a separate choice that I also decided to make. I don't want to brag, but I know the capital of every single state. For example, the capital of Wyoming is W. Reality called. I declined to answer. 3 years ago, there was a small knock at my door in the middle of the night. I opened the door to find a snail. Disgusted, I picked it up and I threw it. Last night, there was another small knock at my door. I opened up the door and there's the snail and it says to me, "Hey, what the hell was that about?" My wife left me because I'm just too insecure. Oh, never mind, she just went to the store. In Boston, what's the only color that can open your car door? Khaki. Did you hear about the guy that accidentally put Viagra in his ear? He's hard of hearing now. I finally started taking something for my kleptomania. I want to be rich like my dad. He wanted to be rich too. My friend told me that his date once stopped an F1 race due to unsafe conditions. I told him, I think that's a red flag. I can't prove why the chicken crossed the road, but I suspect it was due to foul intentions. I was never very successful with the ladies in my 20s. I remember one time a woman said, "Come on over, there's nobody home." So I went over there, and there was nobody home. I heard the greatest joke about procrastination. I'll tell it to you later, though. I asked the librarian if they had any books on paranoia, and she said, "They're right behind you." I suggested to my wife that she embrace her mistakes, and she gave me the biggest hug. How do you stop a rhino from charging? Don't plug it in. When my dad dies, he wants me to become a circus clown just like he was, and just like his father was before him. I don't know though. Those are some big shoes to fill. A friend of mine quit his job at the gym because he was really embarrassed that he couldn't bench press more than 75 pounds. He had to put in his 2-week notice. Do you know the definition of a Freudian slip? It's when you intend to say one thing, but you say a mother. Speaking of Freudian slips, they should never be confused with Freudian bras and panties. One of my friends became an Egyptologist. Now it turns out the only way he can make money as an Egyptologist is to become a professor and teach other people to become Egyptologists. If you ask me, that's just another pyramid scheme. I think being arachnophobic is just stupid. I mean, who cares if 2 spiders get married? What do you call the fleshy bit between a shark's teeth? Slow swimmers. I had the nastiest, most rude cashier the other day at a grocery store. That'll teach me for using self-checkout. What kind of shoes do bakers wear? Loafers. Never challenge death to a pillow fight unless you're prepared for the Reaper cushions. I visited my friend at his new apartment. He told me to make myself at home, so I promptly kicked him out because I hate visitors. It's important to establish a good vocabulary. For example, if I had known the difference between antidote and anecdote, my best friend would still be alive today. Indecisive is my favorite word. Oh, wait, no, it isn't. A new report says that people eat more bananas than monkeys. But I gotta be honest, I've never seen anyone eat a monkey. When I see the initials of lovers carved on a tree, I don't find it cute or romantic. I find it concerning that many people take a knife along with them on a date. I was giving my imaginary son crap for his failing grades when I asked him, "Have you got anything to say for yourself?" And he said to me, "Eeeeee." That's when I cut him off. I said, "I don't appreciate you taking that tone with me." How much room does a fungi need to grow? As much room as possible. Bananas are never lonely. I mean, what can you expect? They hang out in bunches. Why do mummies avoid vacations? Because they're afraid if they relax, they might unwind. We've got a ghost in our house that goes around threatening us with imminent death while cleaning up the place. We call it the Grim Sweeper. I asked my gym instructor if he could teach me how to do the splits. He said, well, how flexible are you? I said, well, I can be here pretty much any day except for Tuesdays. What happens when a microscope runs into a telescope? They kaleidoscope. My wife was telling me that I'm of average intelligence. Now that's just mean. Math jokes. I started a company that sells see-through glass coffins. Will it be a success? I guess it remains to be seen. I just got a job at a paperless office. I thought everything was great until the first time I had to use the bathroom. The other day I asked my boss if I could leave early. He said, sure, if I made up the time. I said, no problem. It's 87 past 63. Just curious, but are national anthems considered country music? Years ago I made the decision to move into an igloo. Everything was great until my friends showed up and threw me a housewarming party and left me homeless. That's it. I am done trying to please people. I mean, if everyone's okay with that. Would a typo on a headstone be considered a grave mistake? I've read that if you encounter a bear in the wild, the best thing that you could do is lay down and play dead. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds suspiciously like something a bear would say. I was going to tell you a joke about a girl who only eats plants, but you've probably never heard before. I'm thinking that toasters might be the original pop-up notifications. I always wear a stethoscope when I leave the house. That way, during medical emergencies, I can teach an important lesson about making assumptions. I've been trying to quit cold turkey for over 2 years, but every time I tell people that I'm trying to quit cold turkey, they don't take me seriously. Have you heard the rumor going around about butter? Never mind. I shouldn't spread it. I've got a great joke about cliffhangers. Not many people know this, but Dr. Seuss's mother was a massage therapist. That's right, she was known as masseuse. What does it mean when the barometer falls? It means you probably need a new nail to hold it up. Why did the ghost go to the bar? For the booze. Why didn't the skeleton cross the road? He had no guts. Is an arbitrator somebody who used to work at Arby's but now works at McDonald's? Despite not being a twin, I fully support the creation of Twins Day. After all, twins are people too. If a butcher shop clerk is 5 foot 10 inches tall and has size 13 shoes, what does he weigh? Meat. Leopards hate playing hide and seek. It's because they're always spotted. What is a mummy's favorite type of music? Rap. How do you make a skeleton laugh? Tickle his funny bone. One moment, folks, we are getting breaking news. Authorities have confirmed that the man who fell from an 18-story nightclub last night was not a bouncer. Why did the Scarecrow win the Nobel Peace Prize? Because he was outstanding in his field. 2 guys walk into a bar. The third ducks just in time. What do ghosts wear when their eyesight fails? Spookticles. I got fired from my job at the bank on Friday. An old lady came in and asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over. My wife has been reading a lot of gothic horror romances lately, so I asked her, why does Dracula always bite his victims on the neck? And she says, it's simple. He's a neck romancer. While on the subject of vampires, how do you know if a vampire's sick? He'll be coughing. I used to play piano by ear, but I am so much better now that I use my hands. My wife thinks I'm addicted to brake fluid, but I know I can stop at any time. I gave up my seat to a blind woman on the bus the other day, and that is how I lost my job as a bus driver. I've been recently diagnosed with a fear of giants. That's right, I suffer from fee-fi-phobia. I was in the process of writing some awkwardly worded sonnets the other day when I was stopped by the grammar police, and I was forced to produce my poetic license. My grandma used to say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Now I don't know if that's true or just one of Granny's myths. Why didn't the skeleton dance at the club? He had no body to dance with. Why did the Scarecrow skip dinner? It was already stuffed. The folks that came up with the phrases "a penny for your thoughts," "don't nickel and dime me," and "another day, another dollar" really knew how to coin a phrase. Why was the jack-o'-lantern afraid? Because it had no guts. What do you call an evil creature that plays practical jokes on people?
Frankenstein's monster.
How do you make a skeleton laugh? Tickle his funny bone. How do you fix a broken jack-o'-lantern? with a pumpkin patch. What do you get when you divide a jack-o'-lantern's circumference by its diameter? You get pumpkin pie.